Does NiKo need to win this to be the GOAT? To be the GOAT rifler?
Here's the sad thing, Launders. I actually think, by the way, the angle people are missing is this. Dude, if NiKo actually won a major, and here's the problem, obviously now in his team, he could also win and be like Modesty could carry the game or fucking Hunter or JKS kind of, but let's imagine he wins, but he's real NiKo. Like he did at the Stockholm. If they'd have won that would just be NiKo, mate. Like, he was just carrying the fuck out of that major. If they win the major and he carries, here's the real discussion. Bearing in mind he's a rifler, why can't he be the GOAT if he wins a major?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. I mean,
why not? He's a rifler. I think he has to do way more.
You'd give him like a plus 20 stats boost to compare him to the Oppers, and then you would have the discussion.
And we always say on the show as well, Launders, people, I'm so sure people have had their brain broken by the old NiKo. They think he's like a perma lurker who's just playing for stats. Like, he probably does more than any rifler in years. Yeah, like the amount of dude, he even throws flashes for people for fuck's sake, and he's NiKo. Like, I don't think anyone. It's why it's actually a shame, because in this era with G2 where they didn't win anything until recently, it might have been his best period. Like, his all-around games really stepped up. Like, and it looks like he did adapt to having worse teammates and do more jobs in the team. Like, I would have mad props for him if he won. Like, again, that's one of those ones, Lord. It's like the Carragher versus Glaive one now. I'd probably give it to Glaive, but the point is, it's interesting if you can at least make an argument for the other guy. Like, he's in the convo. That'd be a pretty cool one to me. Because I always thought, by the way, if it wasn't for the things like the Boston Major, NiKo was, if people don't know, NiKo was supposed to be the true rival for Simple. Not fucking Ziwu. That was just some shit that came along years later. It was supposed to be like Simple and NiKo, like essentially who has like the fucking stud super freak and then who can win the championship with them. Like, in my dream, they both just get teams built around them and they battle every year, you know, which they sort of did, but didn't in their own way, you know.
Yeah, he's probably got the most years where if there wasn't Oppers, he would just be number one player, right?
I think he would be,
21, 22, Shiro just popped up, and then Ziwu popped up, and then just made his life worse.
I even think really the most underrated one, dude, is easily 2018. Everyone forget, they remember, like Simple was godlike, and then Device won all the events, right? In the middle, with that really messy phase lineup that eventually kicked Carragher and was starting to have problems. Dude, NiKo was just carrying the whole time in that year. It was unbelievable. Like, he even won events over Astralis. People don't know. Like, he was so good, it was unbelievable.
And they kicked Carragher in the beginning of the year, right? Because that's
they kicked him around. No, you're getting it the wrong way around. They kicked him a couple of months after Face It, so it was like 2/3 of the way into the year.
Oh, okay. And then so then what about Twist? If Twist wins this, then like does that change the story for him as rifler?
I think he could be the NA GOAT. He could be up there with all the great riflers, right?
Because I think NA GOAT would be locked probably just because he would probably have to have good performances on individually as well as winning the major.
Also imagine,
but then, you know, he's transcended North America at this point, right? Like, he's got like longevity, he's got the results, he's not just come over to European team to get carried. He's like done his fair share of like really big performances, iconic moments, like peaks and everything like that.
The 2 Grand Slam angle.
Yeah. So how good is Twist in terms of like compared to NiKo and, you know, in terms of riflers in that case?
I mean, as an individual in terms of contributions, I don't think he comes anywhere close. Even though actually in terms of hardware, he has more than NiKo right now.
He's way more, yeah.
He has the major over him. It's 10 S tier trophies to 9 for NiKo.
He doesn't have like
by the way,
3 to 5 players.
You can go look this up, but I always said this. Now he's obviously won Katowice, but even with that, mate, when you go on that page on HLTV that shows the trophies for NiKo Launders, mate, that's like some fucking Jesus wept shit. Like, it's all just blasts and shit. It's all garbage. Like, you look at, he's got every banana cup that ever existed. It's sad as fuck, isn't it? Like, that's why I'm glad he won the Cato. Like, fucking hell, mate. Where are the big fucking lands? Like, his lands really are like, congrats, another blast. Brilliant.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's got, and by the way, he's not even win the real blast. He's win the blaster ones. Those shitters, isn't he? The old ones.
The Pro Series.
Yeah, the old ones back in the day. He was winning those.
Madrid, yeah.
Yeah.
That was brutal. I need him to have some real fucking hardware. Like, actual, because the problem is, he's way too good a player to have that resume. Like this,
top 5 for 4 years as a rifler.
By the way, when you look at that trophy thing, you even think there's like a bug or something. You think, oh no, surely like there's got to be. Wait, did he ever like? But then you remember like, no colognes. There's only this one Cato. Like, it's actually sad. It's actually sad how many fucking ones he's bombed. Like, here's what's sad: if NiKo doesn't win this major, I'll just say it right now. I won't say it, but other people will think he's one of the greatest chokers of all time. Like, think about that thing where he'd been in like 4 Katowice files or something. Like, dude, people will think he's a choker because sadly it'll be that memory from Boston everyone remember. And even, dude, I always think the saddest one about the Stockholm one is people just remember at the end of the game when he missed that deagle. Mate, he was carrying that fucking tournament. If they'd have won, he was the reason why. But because of that one moment at the end, which let Na'Vi back in the door, it feels in people's brain like they think he like fed in the final or something. He didn't. Like, he wasn't a godlike, but he was very good. He was very good in that tournament for sure.
that whole playoffs as well. He was like,
he was Smurf. He's the only reason they beat Heroic, mate. You can go watch that match. That's why I posted it the other day. Like, that's like a match where it's like, if I'm Heroic at the end, I even told them it's like the bar. I was like, mate, I know it sounds fucked up, but I would never blow smoke up your ass. But after that game, you should actually just think like, well, we didn't do anything wrong. Like, what do you want us to do? Like, we played our game. One guy just beat us. And by the way, spoiler, they even admit privately, like, yeah, he did. Like, nothing you could do against any of the fucking kills he was getting and the moves he was making. So I think it'd be so sad if he gets remembered as like the greatest choker ever or whatever. Like, oh, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Especially because remember, he's also got that Carrigan angle. He's doing it all in international teams.
Mm-hmm.
He's not off in fucking some team with all his country. I mean, sort of is now in a way because he's got Hunter in that angle or whatever. But it's not the same as like being in a fucking old Danish lineup for your whole career, is it? Come on.
See more cool, funny, interesting clips based on topics from my content? Well, subscribe to this channel then, or, you know, be a pleb and don't.